Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. I'm going to read Ezekiel 23. Two adulterous sisters. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, there are two women, daughters of the same mother. They became prostitutes in Egypt, engaging in prostitution from their youth, and that they had bread, and that in that land their breasts were fond, and their virgin blossoms caressed. The older was named Ophelia, and her sister was named Ophelibah. They were mine and gave birth to sons and daughters. Ophelia is Samaria, and Ophelia is Jerusalem. Ophelia engaged in prostitution while she was still mine, and she lusted after her lovers and Assyrians. Lovers, the Assyrian warriors, clothed in blue, governors and commanders, all the horsemen. She gave herself as a prostitute to all the elites of the Assyrian, and defiled herself with all the idols of everyone she lusted after. She did not give up the prostitution she began in Egypt, when during her youth men slept with her, caressed her virgin bosom, and poured out their lust on her. Therefore I deliver her into the hands of her lovers, the Assyrians, for whom she lusted. They stripped her naked and took away her sons and daughters. They killed her with a sword. She became a byword among women, and punishment was inflicted on her. Her sister Ophelia saw this, and yet her just in prostitution she was more deprived than her sister. She too lusted after the Assyrians, governors and commanders, who wore in a full dress, mounted horsemen, all the handsome young men. I saw she was to defile herself. Both of them went the same way. But she carried her prostitution still farther. She carried men portrayed on a wall, figures of Chaldeans portrayed in red, with belts around her waist and following turbines on their heads. All of them looked like Babylonian chariot officers, native of Chaldea. And as soon as she saw them, she lusted after them and sent messengers to them in Chaldea. Then the Babylonians came to her to the bed of love, and in their lust they defiled her. After she had been defiled by them, she turned away from them in disgust. When she carried on her prostitution openly and exposed her naked body, I turned away from her in disgust, just as I had turned away from her sister. Yet she became more and more promiscuous as she recalled the days of her youth, when she was a prostitute in Egypt. There she lusted after lovers whose Gentiles were like those of donkeys, and whose emissions was like that of horses. So you long for lewdness of your youth, when Egypt your blossom was caressed and your young breast fondled. Therefore, this is what your sovereign Lord says: I will stir up the lovers against you, those who turned away from you in disgust, and I'll bring them against you from every side, the Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, the men of Pedig and Shua and Koa, all the Assyrians with them, handsome young men, all of them governors, commanders, chariot officers, and men of high rank, all mounted on horses. They will come against you in weapons, chariots, and the wagons, and with a throng of people they will take position against you on every side with a large, small shield, and with helmets. I will turn from you over for punishment, and they will punish according to their standards. I will direct my jealous anger against you, and they will deal with your fury, and they will cut off your noses and your ears of those who are left to fall by the sword. They will take away the sons and daughters, and those who are left to come soon by fire. They will also strip you of your clothes and take you of your jewelry. So I will put stop to this jealous lewdness and prostitution you began in Egypt. You will not look at the things with longing, remembering Egypt anymore. For this is what the sovereign Lord says: I am about to deliver you into the hand of those you hate, to those you turned away from in disgust. They will deal with you in hatred and take you away for everything you have worked for. They will leave you stark naked in shame of your lewdness and promiscuity have brought on you. because you luster of the nations and defied yourself with your idols. You have gone the way of your sister, so I put her cup on into your hand. This is what the sovereign Lord says. You will drink your sovereign Lord's a cup of large deep. It will bring scorn and decision for wholesome much. It will be filled with drunkenness and sorrow. The cup of ruin, desolation, the cup of your sister Samaria. You will drink it and drain and chew the pieces, and it will tear your breast. I have spoken, declares the sovereign Lord. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Since you have forgotten me and turned your back on me, you must bear the consequences of your lewdness and prostitution. The Lord said to me, Son of man, will you judge Ophir and Ophir? They will confront them in their desolate practices, for they have committed adultery and blood on their hands. They have committed adultery with their idols. They have scattered Phalis, their children, whom they bore as food for them. They also have done this to me. At the same time, they defied my sanctuary and they discarded my Sabbath. On the very day they sacrificed their children to their idols, they entered my sanctuary and disgraced. This is what they said in my house. They even sent messengers from men who came far away, and they arrived and bathed yourself for them and applied makeup and put your jewelry. You sat and gave your church couch with a table stand before you had and placed the incense of olive oil that belonged to me. The noise of a carefree crowd was around her. Drunkards were from the desert, along with men from the rabble. And they put bracelets in the wrist of a woman on her sister, a beautiful crown head. Then I set about to one idolatry. Now let you use her as a prostitute, and that's all it is. As men sleep with a prostitute, they will sleep with those lewd men, Opha and Ophila. But the righteous judges will sentence them to punishment of women who committed adultery and shed blood, because they are adulterous and blood in their hands. This is what the sovereign Lord says. Bring a mob against them to bring terror and plunder. The mob will stone them and cut them down with their swords. They will kill their sons and daughters and burn down their houses. So this will put the end to lewdness in the land, that all women may wondering and not imitate you. You will suffer the penalty for your lewdness and bear the consequences of your sin of adultery. Then you'll know that I am the sovereign Lord. The word of the Lord for the people, Lord. Thanks be to God. Have a great day, and see you tomorrow.